What is up, guys? It is Sergeant Rooster here once again with my first impressions of Angry Birds 2. Now, just for you guys to know, yesterday, well, technically today, was the release of the game, and yesterday I had the opportunity to actually download the game and actually play it on my tablet. Now, my tablet is a fairly new tablet, and it runs, it's got 3 gigs of RAM, it's got an octa-core processor, but setting all of that aside, I think that the game itself runs very good on this tablet. I don't know about any other tablets. I haven't tried it on my phone, which is actually a quad-core phone. Now, I don't know if it's gonna actually work on my phone as good as it worked on my tablet, but it is gonna be an interesting test to see if it works. But now getting to my first impressions, I think that Angry Birds 2 was a very interesting take on the Angry Birds franchise. I think that the creators over at Rovio actually did very, very well by updating the game, making it look nice. It doesn't look like any of the other games. It doesn't look like Bad Piggies. It doesn't look like Angry Birds, the first Angry Birds. It doesn't even look like the other spin-off games like the other Star Wars or Rio or all the other ones. It doesn't look like any of those. It looks like a new game. The graphics look amazing. They look updated. They look, very, I wouldn't say next gen, but they look very updated and very well done for the game itself. Now, going on to the gameplay itself, it is the classic, catapult the bird into the pile stock of wood, or as they call it, ice in this game. I thought it was glass, but it's ice, and and everything else. But in this game, they actually added a couple new things. They added a new flower that spits out anything that falls into its range. So if a piece of wood falls in its range, it actually chews it up and throws it back out, and actually adds a new gameplay element to the actual game itself, which is really really interesting. Another thing that I actually liked about it is that it's very different in terms of how you scale up, because in the first Angry Birds game, typically if you use less birds, you would get 3 stars on the level, and that's how it would be considered. It would be considering that as your 3-star point advantage. But in this game, it's actually a little bit different. It works very much like a card game. You have 4 cards or 3 cards, or how many cards you start off with, and you have to complete the level in that amount of time, or that amount of with the least amount of cards as possible. But it doesn't matter if you use all your birds, because this game actually runs on a life system, which basically means you'll have 5 lives, which if you look at the top left of the screen, you'll see a heart right there. And that heart, what that means is, what that number inside means, how many lives you have. So if you use up all your cards, you lose a life. So every 30 minutes or so, they're going to give you a new life. That means that you have to wait another 30 minutes, and then you come back to the game and you'll have all your lives, or maybe just 1. But I think it's a very interesting concept that they actually implemented into the game. It is something that, I have to be honest, it kind of annoys me, but I'm kind of getting used to it, and it's very interesting how they actually were able to pull it off in the style of Angry Birds, a mixture of like a card game with action game in between. Now, onto the things that kind of made me a little bit confused were the fact that now you actually collect gems. Unlike the first game, you never had any sort of payment method or any sort of currency in the game. Now in this game, you have these rubies or these diamonds or whatever that actually you go on and collect, and you actually collect those so that if you die, you can actually use those to revive you, which is an interesting concept. I think it's interesting to add that onto the game, but I think they should actually work on top of that, because now it kind of forces the person to pay something. And I was actually watching a video with the developers of Angry Birds 2, and they were telling that this is like a good, it's a good strategy to keep the game free for all, but yet have some sort of way of winning money at it as well. I understand, but the first game was free and didn't have to have all this, currency, or having to have, in-app purchases. You don't have to pay anything in-app in order for the game to work the way it should be. So I think that they should work a little bit more on that. Another thing, when you are playing the game itself, and like I was saying before about those cards, I realized that the cards you aren't able to use the cards they're more like at random. You can choose what bird you want, but you can only pick out of 3. Meaning, if you are in a level that's all glass and all you have is red, the red bird, the yellow bird, and the egg dropping bird, I don't think that you should be able to choose which bird you want, even out of all your selection. So you're forced to use those birds when you have the blue bird, which spreads out into 3, and I think that that's an advantage in itself for you to actually go back and use that bird, because you have that in your pile of cards. And I think the overall game itself, I think if you see now that it's pretty much endless. If you look at it, there's about 240 levels, and once you get all the way to 240, it says like more levels coming, obviously. So you have about 5 or 6 sections in this game, which is very interesting. I mean, I just completed the first one last night. You can complete an entire section if you're really good. You can complete the entire section in about, I would say, 20-25 minutes, maybe half an hour. You can complete one entire section, which is pretty good for the game itself. Now, do I recommend this game right now the way it is? I would say yeah. I think it is a good game. I think it is something that you guys should go out and get. It's an amazing game, and I think that you guys should actually go and see how well this game plays with its other competitors that actually try to emulate the whole catapult thing. And I think that they're, experimenting with a fairly new concept, which is very good. But at the same time, they need to work a little bit more on that concept itself. I mean, the game just released, so obviously there are mixed reviews about this game. But this is just like my first impressions of the game. You never know, maybe in a week I'm gonna love this game. I'm gonna continue playing this game until I finish it. Or in a week, I might uninstall it from my device and never play it again. It's very mixed, it's very open. This is just what I think out of the box and what I see it, doing and how it plays and everything, but that's how I feel, and I think that, it's a good game. Go out, download it, it's a good game. I think that everybody who is an Angry Birds fan should go and play this game, because it is that good. It is really, really good. That is it for my first impressions of Angry Birds 2. Please subscribe to this video, comment, rate it, go and watch all my other videos. I know that they're not a lot, there's probably like 4 or 5 videos, but I'm going to be posting more videos soon, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys for watching, and this is Sergeant Rooster, signing out.